Hi guys, it's Cindy here from Hooked on Crafts, and today I'm going to be showing you how to make this a super simple crochet rib beanie that looks like it's been knit, but really it's been crocheted. I'm making mine for the Hat Not Hate campaign hosted by Lion Brand for 2020. Alright guys, let's get started. For this project, I'm going to be using Lion Brand's Pound of Love in the colorway Denim. I'm going to be using an eye size crochet hook, but you can use whatever size your yarn calls for, a retractable tape measure, a yarning needle, and of course some scissors to cut your yarn. So to begin with, I am going to be making a slip knot here. This is how I make mine. And then I am going to be chaining, I believe I chained like 35 or 36 for my foundation roll. Now it's really not important what size hook you're using or how many stitches you're going to crochet. What does matter is the length of the chain. So we're going to be making child size hats because Lion Brand has asked for them to be a 16-inch in circumference. Well, that will fit a school-aged child. And so for a child size hat, we want it to be approximately 8 inches long. So we're actually going to crochet our foundation chain to be 10 inches long because I'm going to turn the brim of my hat up about 2 inches so that we have that ski cap kind of look going on when we're finished. So you will see at the end, I'm going to show you several different ways I made this hat. Some I used an H size hook for, some I used an I size hook for. So use whatever is good for you guys. Here you can see I'm measuring it and it's 10 inches long and that's the exact measurement that I'm needing. And then to begin with, we're going to make this one with half double crochet. So you're going to yarn over, stick your hook into your foundation chain, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through all 3 loops. And you're going to do this exact same stitch all the way down your foundation row. So like I was saying, it's really not important what size hook you need. What is important is that your measurements are the correct size for our hat, okay? Because we don't want to make our hats so big that the kids can't wear them or that they fall down in their face. So I'm making mine 10 inches and we're going to turn the brim up 2 inches. So that's going to give us an 8-inch hat, which according to the hat size charts that are available on the internet or on Pinterest, a child size hat would be 16 inches in diameter and 8 inches tall. So that's exactly what we're going for here. So again, you are just going to half double crochet all the way down your foundation chain. I just want to say that I think this is a great campaign. I'm always up for crocheting for a cause. You guys know I've always liked to do that. So, you know, get your crochet hooks out, get your knitting needles out, and let's make some hats, guys. I'm going to speed this up till we get down to the very last stitch here. And then once we get to the very end, you are going to half double crochet into your last stitch, and then you're going to chain 2. Here I am slowing down now that we got to the very end. Crochet into the last one. You're going to chain 2 and then turn your work. So all the way down to your slip stitch. Half double crochet. And chain 2 and turn your work. And this is what it should look like so far. Pretty simple, right? Everybody, if you've been crocheting for a little bit, everybody can do a half double crochet. For the next row, and this is going to be our repetitive row, you are going to do a half double crochet into the back loop only. So if you look at the top of your work, you have a front loop and a back loop there. And we're just going to go in through the back loop. Okay? Super simple. Yarn over, go through the back loop only, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, go through all 3. And you're going to just continue to work this same pattern all the way through. So only going into the back loop. Each time you turn your work, you're going to only go into the back loop. And you're just going to continue this. And like I said, I'm going to continue mine till it's about 15 inches wide, because it does have a lot of stretch in it and I don't want my hat to be too big. Now you'll see at the very end, I will show you that I did one with just single crochets instead of half double crochets, and it's even stretchier. So I didn't make that one quite as wide as I did the half double crochet ones, just because there was a lot more stretch in that one. So here you're going to see, you're just going into the back loop, guys, and you're going to continue on your way until your project is about 15 inches long. 14 and a half, 15 inches long, I would say would be a perfect size. And this is what it's going to look like when you're done. Now, when you finish off, make sure you leave yourself a really long tail, because we're going to sew this up into our hat. And you can see here, I'm showing you the different sizes. This is the one I single crocheted into the back loop only, and it is way stretchier. So that is what the different size hooks look like and the different stitch. Okay, now it's time for us to sew up our hat. So hopefully you've left a long tail. I left mine totally way too long. So I just tend to do that. I'm not sure why. We're going to thread our needle, and then we're going to bring our two ends together. And for me, I like to go through the first stitch a couple times, and then I'll also do that at the very top when we get to the very top of the hat. And here I'm going through both loops on both sides of the fabric. Now, as I go up, and I'm just doing a whip stitch on mine, there are lots of different ways you can sew these up. Some people use a mattress stitch. I just don't think it's necessary to use that with this whip stitch. You're not going to be able to tell exactly where I sewed it up anyways. So for us, we're going to be going through the front two loops on the front piece of fabric and the back loop only on the back one. And I think that gives a great seam on both sides. You're not going to be able to hardly tell where we stitched this up. So I think it works perfect for these type of hats. So again, you're just going to keep going through the front two loops on the front piece and the back loop on the back side, all the way to the top. I just want to take a couple minutes and talk about the Hat Not Hate campaign. I really applaud Lion Brand for this campaign. Bullying is a huge problem. I think in the schools, I think it's a huge problem. Even on the internet, sometimes people's comments are really hateful, and I feel like there's a lot of cyberbullying that goes on out there. So I applaud Lion Brand for taking this stance on bullying and try to help. It's a real problem for people that get bullied. I mean, it could change their lives, honestly. It just works on your self-esteem when people are bullying you nonstop. And I think it's so sad when I see people bullying other people. And I think as a bystander, you've got to stand up and put a stop to it too. It's just about people not bullying, but it's also for other people standing up for the person that is being bullied to try to help that person out. So I love to crochet for a cause, and I think this is a perfect cause. So I hope you guys will join me in making some of these hats. Lion Brand, I think, is wanting to do 100,000 hats. They're wanting them all to be all to fit a child size head, so 16 inches in circumference. They're wanting no wool, because some people are allergic to wool. I will post all the details where you can send your hats and everything in the comments below. So I hope you guys will join me and make some of these hats. I purchased this huge pound of love yarn so I can make a ton of these hats. I just think it's a great cause. And I don't necessarily think it's about making a ton of them. I think we want to take our time and make cool hats for the kids that they're going to enjoy wearing. So I hope you guys will be adventurous. Try this hat. I know there's lots of YouTubers out there that have made hats. So do a few of each kind. I mean, variety is the spice of life, right? All the kids are different. So I think they're going to want different kinds of hats. So that's why I kind of made this video, so that you would have another option out there. So here I'm at the very top, and I'm going to do the very top a couple times around, just because I don't want it to come apart. Because kids are kids, right? They're going to throw them down. They're going to do all kinds of things with them. And here I am turning it inside out, and you can just barely see where that seam was, right? It turned out really nice. I got a little bit off at the top there, but I'm not going to sweat it, because I'm going to run my slip stitch around the top of the hat, and you're not even going to see that part. So for the top, we're going to, I call this a gathering stitch. I'm not sure what it's called. I'm not really a sewer, so, but I'm just going to go in and out all the way around the top of my hat. Now on this one, I'm doing it on the right side of the hat. Now I'm going to put a pom-pom on this one, so it's really not going to matter what the top of it looks like. But if you're not going to put a pom-pom on it, you might want to do this on the inside of the hat. I had just already turned this to show you guys, and I wasn't really paying that much attention, so I don't think it matters. You can't really tell one way or the other when you look at all of them. So if you're going to put a pom-pom on it, I don't think it's going to matter. If you're not putting a pom-pom on it, I would do this gathering stitch on the inside of the hat. But that's just me. That's my personal preference. You do you, right? That stitch that we did up the side is so hard. I couldn't hardly even tell where I started, honestly. But once you get all the way through to where you started, you're just going to pull that yarn gently, so not to break it, right? Gently pull it until you get it all cinched up on the top. And then I like to sew mine just to make sure that hole stays closed. So you'll see me, I'm going to stitch through the top several times, back and forth. And like I said, you're not going to see this, but get it put together really well so that it doesn't come apart on them. And just sew it all up. And then once I've got it kind of tight, I'm going to stick my needle through the center of it, and then I'm going to turn my hat inside out and finish this piece of yarn off that I'm sewing with here. So like I said, I sew mine really well because I don't want it to come apart. And I have kids, and I know how they treat their stuff. They, toss it down as soon as they come in off the school bus. So here I am sticking my needle through the center of your hat. Turn your hat inside out. And then I am just going to make a few more stitches to close anything up that I see that looks like it might not be closed up well on the inside. And then I'm going to knot my yarn here. Typically I don't knot my yarn, but on these hats I feel like I need to, because I don't want that gathering stitch to come loose. So you'll see me knot it, and then I'm just going to weave in my ends on the inside. I hope you guys make a few of these hats. I would love for you to post them on Instagram, to my Instagram feed, tag me, tag the Hat Not Hate. I know they would love to see all of your hats. I hope you get busy and make a few of these. Trim your yarn off once you've weaved in your ends. And then I'm going to turn it right side out. And that is our hat, guys. I think they look great. I'm going to turn my brim up because that's just how I roll. And I think this gray pom-pom is going to look perfect on this one. Here's a few other ones that I did. I hope you guys make a few of these hats. Have a great day.